shingo pande. I know you're upset cause no one loves you better. Hata wakupende aje, utahepa someday.
Reminds me I'm alone. Oh, I need to call her now. She needs to know what's in my heart. Oh, reminds me I'm alone. Oh, I need to call her now. Needs to know what's in my heart.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That is Sincere by the man who claims that he has no name. He's nameless. And it's playing right here on the Power Morning Drive Show. Welcome officially. Thank God it's Friday. And there's no other place I would rather be other than speaking to you and spending these first hours of my morning with you guys. This is Power Radio. My name is Wanyoike. I'm your host. This is where we tune in and power up. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across Instagram. We are also on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook as well. And you can also get this live broadcast on our YouTube channel. We are at Power Radio. If you've not yet subscribed, kindly right now, go right there, subscribe, hit on that notification bell so that whenever we go live, you are indeed looped in. Right, let's get into the traffic updates. And we start off with what's happening on Muthaiga. I mean, not Muthaiga, but Thika Road. Leo ni Friday, so things are not looking too busy on your end. Kuna jam kidogo tu pale from KCA University down towards Muthaiga Square, Nairobi. And then that's just about it. The same also goes for Kiambu Road. It's not quite busy this morning. And naona tu just a little bit of a snarl up as you go from Thindigwa down into the DCI area. Limuru Road is also not too busy this morning. Just a little bit of a snarl up from the Village Market down towards Muthaiga. The same situation happening along Wayaki Way. Things are looking a little bit busy from Kabete National Polytechnic down towards ABC Place. Kuna kamsongamano kidogo, but it clears out soon after. We also have Ngong Road. Ngong Road is where it's at this morning. Junction Mall all the way down towards Coptic Hospital. Things are looking very busy and tedious on your end. Mombasa Road is also looking very busy this morning. Kumeshikana bumper to bumper. Same situation happening along Lower Kabete Road also. From all the way from Zen Garden down towards Spring Valley Police Station. Things are looking hefty. Langata Road. Kumeshikana from Dam Estate down towards Wilson Airport. Things are looking too busy for you as well. You can also Raila Odinga Road. It's always very free range there. Nothing to complain about. In case of any accidents or incidents, do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. And today we are doing things a little bit different because of some unavoidable circumstances. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a quick break. And then my guests are already in studio. Today we talk everything food politics, from what do we need to create sustainable food systems to what is the situation in Kenya in terms of securing food justice, as well as how do we ensure that we carve out pathways for food security across Kenya and also globally. So that's the conversation that we shall be having with a team from G4C, and you'll find out what G4C is and all things that you need to know around food security. Let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back to the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. I'm your host, and this is Power Radio, where we tune in and power up. Thank you so much for still sticking around with us. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across all our socials. We are on X, we are on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also find this live which incidentally we are actually streaming live right now. We're also streaming live on our YouTube channel, that is Power Radio. If you've not yet subscribed, kindly go out there, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that whenever we are live, you get to be notified. All right, as promised, my guests are already in studio, and I am going to allow them to introduce themselves and let us know exactly what they are about and all the things in between. Today we shall be talking all things food, and of course, me being a food lover myself, I'm a foodie, so it's a very exciting conversation to kind of understand what are some of the intricacies and the policy related issues around food justice and food security in Kenya. So I'm quite excited to have them in studio with me. So I will give the first opportunity to the gentleman on my immediate right. Yes, karibu sana to Power Radio.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling very excited today.
Yes.
And a lot is happening today for us.
Yeah.
And my name's Charles Lukania. I am a passionate environmentalist and also a proud supporter of art and activism for so long.
Yes.
Many years.
Yes.
Previously, I used to work with the Dandora Hip Hop City.
Hey, Dandora Hip Hop.
Yeah, and we used to collaborate with Pawa.
Pawa, sure.
And now I am the coordinator of Growth for Change, and we are uniting change makers
Yes.
like me, like Atamba, and many others who are working in our communities. And the idea is why we are bringing this food justice conversation
Yes.
by advocating for the Food is Politics campaign,
Right.
is to bring up the structural injustices around issues on access to and affordability of food, and especially during COVID-19 pandemic, this was clearly shown because of the lack of supply, maybe for the residents in Nairobi, and also many people were in lockdown. So this brought up the human rights violations around people's access to right to food.
Amazing.
And this made many young people to start grow their own food and start to ask for some of the access to land resources, to funding by the government. And through our work in the community, because we were mostly working with environment and music, not necessarily food. This came out clearly as a very top priority, and that's why we saw this is a key conversation starter for any development issue to pick up, and that's why we are here to advocate for this and talk about this. So we are very excited
Yes.
to be here.
And we are honored to have you. Yes, to the one that is on my extreme right.
Yes, thank you very much, Anne, for having us this morning. My name is Emmanuel Atamba. Yes. I am a farmer first. I'm an agricultural economist by training. And I am an advocate for the right to food.
Right.
And when you talk about the right to food, then we ask ourselves, how can we achieve the human right to food that is in the Kenyan Constitution, for example, Article 43 1C. In front of me, I can see here we are talking about citizen empowerment. This is the focus of the Power 254 radio.
Yeah.
So we understand our rights. We understand that every Kenyan has a right to have access to adequate food of sufficient quality.
Right.
And this is enshrined in the Constitution, Article 43 1C. And I go beyond just saying that we have this right. I try to also ask how. So a lot of my work also revolves around what are the policies that are necessary to enable us to have access to the right to food.
Right.
What are the policies that are necessary to also make sure that our children and their children will also have the same opportunities that we have to grow and consume healthy food. So to that extent, I focus myself on really, first of all, reminding duty bearers, which is mainly government,
Yes.
that they have an obligation to respect, to protect, and to fulfill the right to food.
Right.
And at the same time also trying to answer these questions about how can we as a people move towards this realization. And this is where I contribute a lot my work around supporting agroecology, which is a form of food and farming systems design
Yes.
that takes into account the relationship between the food that we grow, the food that we eat, and nature, and brings in aspects of equality, aspects of co-creation, aspects of participation. So it's a very clear approach.
Yes.
And last year, also through my contribution and contribution of a lot of actors, especially non-state actors, we were able to bring to life the first national agroecology strategy for food system transformation.
The very first one?
The very first one.
Wow.
So this was launched last year, November,
Yes.
and it's giving now the framework of how we are going to deal with our food by ensuring also the aspects of sustainability and the aspects of equity and participation are brought in. So I, at the moment, work with TMG Research, and the work that I'm focusing also now is looking at governance of food system transformation. I mean, a lot of people hear about food systems, they say, this is the new thing in town and all this, unajua. Saa ingine ni story ya jaba kidogo. You have to unpack what you mean by food systems.
Yes.
So part of my work is to say, okay, Kenya is a signatory to a lot of these discussions, the UNFSS, United Nations Food System Summit, and all these discussions that are happening in Nairobi, about food systems. But the question is, how is the transformation being governed? Everyone wants us to transform how we eat.
Right.
We all want to transform our diets to healthy diets. We
Yes.
all want to transform our agriculture to produce safe food. We all want to transform our agriculture to make it resilient to climate change.
That's right.
And all these shocks that are coming to us,
Yes.
there was the 20th, the inauguration in the US.
Yes.
And everyone is just shivering, wondering what is Trump going to say next.
Yeah.
Like we need as a people to be able to reflect on these shocks, on these trends that are happening, including even the global politics.
That's right.
And how do we secure our plate, even as these conversations continue to happen globally? That
Yes.
we might not have a lot of control over, but we definitely have a lot of control over our food that we
Yes.
grow on our farms and what we put on our plates. These are the kind of conversations I'm always advancing.
Yeah. Right. And so there is definitely a lot of flows in between food production, its distribution, and also its consumption in Kenya.
Yes.
And whenever I hear discussions around, we are very food insecure, I'm like, but these are it almost feels as if we are manufacturing the problems, because I like what I read on your write-up, that food is not scarce. The scarcity, food scarcity is an issue of the scarcity of democracy. Yes, it's a scarcity of issues of food justice. Yeah, so what is the nexus, and how do we get to that point where all these parallels sort of align? Yeah, to get to a food secure world, Kenya, right? Yeah.
Currently, as where I'm sitting, because I work closely with communities, there has been a lot of disconnect with policies, with even development partners who are implementing various programs on the ground. You can find, like, maybe within Korogocho, different actors are implementing same programs on food systems,
Right.
but they are not coordinated. Even the extension officers, like the sub-county agricultural officers, don't have the right resources. They can't even reach the communities. So there is a lot of disconnect in how all these structures, which we hope can bring solutions to communities, are working.
Yes.
So we are not realizing the full impact, despite some resources are already being allocated to see this change. So what we are trying to advocate is, how can we minimize this?
Right.
And how can we make our communities to be ready and more receptive to this kind of technology advancement, to this kind of policies, laws, all this awareness around rights. Because when we did a training for the right to food for the artists.
Yes.
And we were doing a music just to highlight around the issues around food justice. Most of the artists were not aware about these rights.
Yes.
Even though they have been working in their communities,
Yes.
they are struggling around how to access food.
Right.
But this conversation is not
It's
yet
not mainstreamed.
to them.
Yeah.
So this conversation is just happening at high level boardrooms
In silos.
in the
Echo chambers.
Addis Ababa at the AU meetings.
Yeah.
So we need to bring these conversations to our people
That's true.
so that they can take ownership
Yes.
and they can take charge of their life. Currently, many people, when they talk about food security, people think of somebody external providing this security.
Yeah.
It is government
Yes. Aid.
who will, or aid,
Yeah.
or some innovation from outside coming in.
Exactly.
But what we want to turn the table is the people local in the communities, them who are coming up with these diets. We are going back to our cultures
Yes.
and knowing what worked for us. And that is what we want to put now in we are working on a toolkit.
Okay.
It's called Food Activism Toolkit,
Okay.
where we will put short tactics that can be done with communities at the group, very low budget.
Yes.
It doesn't require huge reports
Logistics.
or proposals through donors. Just communities working together through peer-to-peer, providing each other resources,
Yes.
and coming up with ways to secure their livelihood. So
Wow.
these are the kind of conversations we want to bring to our people and show them they have the power to do it. And once they have this power, then they can influence the policy.
Right.
Let's say at the ward level,
Yes.
to the sub-county level.
Yes.
So when we reach at the county, we have something that is participatory, that is being engaged with communities who are aware and
Yeah.
they know where they need to influence. So
Yeah.
that is our role, and we hope through the year to 2027,
Yeah.
and we're already working to put up systems that people can replicate or can advance in communities, and also provide some incentive funding and linkages to partners
Yeah.
to facilitate and enable the young entrepreneurs and groups in communities to pick these up
Right.
and implement so that they can earn a living and make a livelihood.
And so, could you speak about what the Food is Politics campaign and what you hope to achieve with it, and how can
And
people
the
plug
Food is
in?
Politics campaign, we
Yeah.
hope to spark debates
Okay.
like this one, like conversations. Like today, we
Yeah.
will be talking about the livestock vaccination, which has brought a lot of spark in the media, and we hope. What is the missing link? What brought this debate? What is not being done right?
Yes.
Which stakeholders have not been involved? Which communication channels have the government used that brought this misinformation? So ours is just to provide that platform. Then we can bring different actors, from activists, farmers, researchers, people in government, to bridge.
Yeah.
Because currently everyone is like working just independently, trying to see agricultural professionals see this is important. The community sees, oh, if you guys come, you're gonna maybe hurt us. So we
Yeah.
want to bring this conversation so that everyone understands the
Yes.
importance of it and how collectively we can make a bigger impact without losing much resources,
Yes.
and ensuring everyone is well fed
Yes.
with
Right. So I would like to throw this to Mr. Atamba. What constitutes a sustainable food system? Yes. How do we arrive at that?
Okay. A sustainable food system
Yes.
can be looked at in different ways.
Right.
And one of the things that when people are talking about sustainability, there's a lot of focus on environmental sustainability. But communities are the ones that, take charge of environmental conservation. So again, if you have not taken care of social sustainability,
Yes.
there is no environmental sustainability. And all these discussions, even beyond food, where people talk about, we have to plant trees, let's not cut trees and all these things.
Yes.
If you don't take care of community sustainability, unaambia watu wasichome makaa huko Kitui.
Waanzie wapi?
Umewapea kazi ingine ya kufanya. These kind of discussions have to happen.
Yeah.
So that there is no competition between taking care of our environment, which is our responsibility, and surviving. Sometimes we take communities to that extent where they have to decide between doing the right thing and actually keeping their, breathing, ongoing,
Yes.
So when this comes to that point, then people don't. So sustainability has to be looked. Food system sustainability has to be looked in all these aspects.
Right.
So the sustainability in terms of livelihoods of producers becomes primarily important also.
Yes.
And then environmental sustainability, looking at different agroecosystems that give us the food, because food comes from the environment. You need to look at your soils, you need to look at your water management systems. You need to also take care of the biodiversity. And the biodiversity here includes even the seeds that we grow. But beyond the seeds that we grow, that we have to maintain, for example, the diversity. We can be having like 200 types of pumpkins. So if we pick one that is more sugary than the rest and we forget the 199, then we are losing the point. Because one time there will be a generation that will not like sugary pumpkins.
That's right.
And they will need the other variety that we threw. So this kind of discussions about making sure that all the available genetic diversity is maintained and is passed down over time. But beyond that is also there is an element of biodiversity functions. So there are things like bees, for example, that sometimes are increasingly under threat due to bad practices. And you see bees, for example, are needed for pollination. So as basic as that, earthworms in the soil are needed to break down organic waste into now manure that can now be used by plants. So naturally processing this, doing all these processes in the soil. So we need to take care of the biology in the agroecosystems. We need to take care of the chemical components of the agroecosystem. So you're not putting too much nitrogen to the extent that it's affecting absorption of other elements. And you see these discussions, for example, with fertilizers. When the government comes and says, you know what,
makosa
ilifanyika for the last 20 years, we have been using the wrong fertilizer, so we want to change it like this. And then farmers are saying, hii mbolea ni mawe. It is not necessarily the problem of the fertilizer in most cases. It is that it is a different type of fertilizer that the farmers are not. But conversations are not happening.
Right.
These conversations cannot be top down. Even if we had a president who is the best farmer in the world, and who is the best agronomist, and who is the best food expert, he alone cannot decide what is good for the people.
That's right.
And even if you have a governor in a county that says, me, I'm trained in agriculture, so mi naeza panga hii mambo yote ya hii county na wakulima wakae sawa. Yes, you have your professional expertise, you have your power, you have your constitutional mandates.
Right.
But what Charles is saying, we need to bridge this gap of democracy. So we need to have this conversation starting from the grass. Engage the people.
Yes.
Get also the indigenous knowledge into the system, because it is part of that sustainable food system that what we are advancing, people know. And what we are advancing is also not completely new. It takes into account of what we knew from before, because we are not going to replace what we have with something completely different. So it's not like the way we are farming and the way we are consuming is completely unacceptable. It is just that we need to focus on these different elements and enhance them more, these good elements of sustainability, and enhance them even more. So when I talk about sustainable food systems, it's not like replacing what we have with something else, but sometimes it is also about recognizing some of the good practices that are there in our food systems and making sure that they continue. So this is so that because sometimes when we discuss it, people are like, so how can we achieve it? Because then it looks like it is something that Atamba is bringing, or it is something that Charles is bringing. No. In fact, a lot of the practices that farmers are engaged in are really good practices.
They've been there.
Yeah,
for
they've been there and they
generations.
work and they take care of the soil.
Yeah.
And the only thing sometimes we need to do is to recognize that in policy. And this is, for example, what we have done with the National Agroecology Strategy for Food System Transformation, is to recognize some of the good practices so that when we are designing funding for agriculture, we also fund these practices to make them scalable, to enhance their potential to actually create a positive impact.
Right.
So sustainable food systems is not completely a new concept. I think for most, for practitioners, this is something that we do.
Yeah.
In most cases, there is infiltration of bad practices in terms of food systems. This we need to deal with.
Right.
There is infiltration of practices, for example, that create dependence on seeds from outside, dependence on nutrition for crops from outside. We are depending on fertilizer from Russia, for example, and all this. For how long? For how long are we going to be given free fertilizer?
Yes.
Or for how long are we going to have to spend 20 billion shillings every year to subsidize fertilizer?
Right.
And yet, there are other many hundreds of alternative ways to achieve the same nutrition for crops using different practices that are organic, that are agroecological. So how to balance the infiltration while making sure that we are sustaining availability of food, but we are reflecting on the impact of what we are doing to the environment, to our health also. How are we consuming? What are we consuming? There's a lot of things that have to be addressed.
Right. So then I feel like it's a very intricate and I would say very complex conversation and also process. You're talking about food transformation.
Yes.
So it means that we are doing at where we are, there has to be something that to lead us to the promised land, right? So in between the here and then, I think advocacy also plays a big part, a very huge part in it. So how can we create advocacy pathways that can include the community, everybody on board, to also be able just to understand what exactly is going on? Because some of these things are also just tough on an intellectual level to even understand. And how do we ensure that everybody is plugged in?
These things are difficult sometimes, but that is why we are there.
That's why you have to unpack them.
To unpack them. Ndio maana tuko.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about advocacy, you bring a very important point.
Yes.
Because in all these discussions about transformation, one of the things that misses a lot is the people. How do we engage the people?
Yeah.
So someone can sit somewhere. I can also, if I'm a policymaker, I can use my own biases and my own interests and my own experiences and what my professor taught me, whether my professor was the smartest professor or not. But I just say, my professor told me this, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm Minister for Agriculture. But we need to bring this element of dialogue, the spaces for discussion and co-creation between communities, between consumers and policymakers, between producers and policymakers. What works for you? How would you like to address this problem? For example, we are dealing with climate change issues. How would an average Kenyan farmer want to deal with the threat of climate change?
Right.
That conversation has not happened.
Not
yet. For the last few years, Kenya has been sending all these delegates to the COP. But yet, they have not come to the grassroots to ask the farmers,
what's going on?
What is going on? How do you think you're going to deal with reduced precipitation? How do you want to deal with this? And what kind of financing, what kind of mechanisms do you need to enable you to act better? Right. And for example, with the climate change discussion, one of the things that is just needed is even just more enhanced ability to predict weather, because one of the biggest challenges that comes with climate change is unpredictability of weather patterns. Kwa Kiswahili tunaita mabadiliko ya tabia nchi. So how the country is like literally translating back to English is like the way the country behaves is changing.
Right.
So wakati we thought there was going to be sun, there is now rain. And when we thought there was going to be rain, so we even just need investments, for example, for farmers to be able to be better placed to predict the weather pattern so that they are not affected with these rapid changes that are happening. So these kind of conversations, if you had with communities, they will tell you this is what we need.
Yes.
What farmers in Kiambu need can be completely different from what pastoralists in Kajiado need.
Yes, right.
So how do you bridge that? So when you talk about advocacy, I think it goes beyond advocacy, because sometimes advocacy for me, having worked in civil society also for a long time, advocacy for me is translated as when things are not working.
Yes.
So we are trying to poke holes and we are trying to, sometimes even we use force. We go to media, we say strange things, and, we warn people, GMOs are going to kill you and all this. We don't want to get to that conversation.
Right.
We want the conversation to happen between the government and the people, and ask them, do you want to eat GMOs? And if the Kenyans say they don't want to eat GMOs, who are you to bring it to them?
Yes, good
GMOs
question.
are starting this year. They are being rolled out this year. And you are going to eat them. Do you want to eat them?
No.
Has anyone asked you if you wanted to eat them?
No.
And when people ask these things and you see the president says, hata mimi nimekula GMO. Oh, who cares if you have eaten GMOs?
Wow.
We are not asking you if you have eaten GMOs. We are asking you,
What do
are
the
our
people want?
president.
Yes.
And you have the power to decide,
Yes.
but you have also mandate in the constitution to consult with the people.
Yes.
So this kind of food discussions is what we are saying. Sometimes when you see noise, when you see farmers making noise about the different agriculture policies and all this, it is not even about the policies. The debate about vaccination we're going to have today, it is not about the vaccination. It is about a breakdown in communication between the people and the government. And that is why Kenyans are saying, they want to kill our cows. No one wants to kill your cows. But the way they have communicated about the vaccination program
translates like that.
looks like they want to kill your cows.
Yeah.
It's a communication problem.
Right.
It's an engagement problem. It's a democracy shortage. It's a participation, inadequacy in participation. So
Right.
exactly as you're saying, beyond the technical aspects, the people aspects need to be put in place for us to see some transformation.
Wow. If you're just joining us, this is a Power Morning Drive Show, and today we have the privilege to host Mr. Atamba and Mr. Charles Lukania, and we are talking about food politics, everything that you need to know from food justice to food transformation and what that conversation looks like, not only locally but also from a global outlook. It's a good place to take a quick breather. Let's come back and continue with our discussions. If you have any questions for our panelists today, kindly head out on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also you can comment on our Power Radio YouTube channel chat, and we shall be addressing some of your questions. If you have also any comments, kindly let us know. But also let us know where you're tuning in from. It gives us a little bit of a booster. But for now, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Think you can think you can handle.
F what a hater say, sipping on that haterade. I'm tipsy off that Tanqueray and Alizé. I'm hella paid. Pair of J's on me as I hit the stage, hella bait. Toast to the hard work, so
Every day we celebrate.
I'm just a dream chaser trying to reach paper. A few years ago, we hadn't seen better, so I had to get up. Hustling never seemed better. I'm fed up, but it won't get the best of me, my nigga. I live a fast life, if you can see. Mula team holding down Africa from the east, nigga, please. We're trying to stack up all the G's, getting money overseas. Mikey told me had a dream, Luther King, we believe.
And if I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Got my city on my back, if you feel me, holla back. I do it for the 250. We hold it down, we down, we holding it down. We hold it down, we down, we holding it. We hold it down, we down, we holding it down. Hold it down, we down,
gotta get that dough. Your money been the motive. Mama told me take it slow, boy. Keep your options open. Now we be all up inside your TV with a couple more beanies movies while we treat them haters like Stevie Wonder why these niggas bother anymore. Tell your tripper shopper man, Kapungari better know that we swaggy, nigga out here swaggy. Tucci's rolling doobies with some beanies in the backseat. But I don't trust these bitches. I don't trust these bitches. I don't trust these bitches, cause they might catch me slipping. But you already know, Camula, that's that T5 flow. Yeah, not Ruby Town. You know we holding it.
And if I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Got my city on my back. If you feel me, holla back. I do it for the 250. We hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
I swear I've been waiting for this moment since I was 12 now. Rock a snapback, fuck a fitted, let your brain smile. And we just glad you finally listened cause you chose style. 5 mighty kids been on a mission while they talk slime. You spit, I vomit, have you on it, dog, I breathe rhymes. No Superman, just rapaholic, see my team shines. So now I'm sipping gin and tonic, we don't squeeze limes. This life's been bitter for a nigga, but I'm still fine. Ha-ah, ha-ah, hey. I hope you learn the basics. Boy, them A to Z's, your 1 to 3s ain't talking about the Matrix. Thanks to KOC, oh yes indeed, I've graduated to MC. Living my dreams, glory to G.O.D.
And if I'm gonna make it worth it, then I gotta go hard. Got my city on my back. If you feel me, holla back. I do it for the 250. We hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
Hold it down.
Ruby Town. You know we holding it down.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That is CMP to the Mula Kampula group that was short-lived as food systems in this country, but oh well, it's holding it down and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. I'm still in studio together with Mr. Atamba alongside Mr. Charles Lukania, and we are talking about food systems, food justice, and everything that you need to know in between about food. Now, there's a conversation happening today. Where, when, how can people come in? Let's go. Let the people know how they can follow all the discussions.
So today, today we are privileged to work with Creative Spills under the Grand Poetry Slam. So they'll be having a series of activities starting today through the weekend.
Okay.
And
by the weekend, you mean both for today, Saturday, and Sunday as well?
And
okay.
Sunday, up
right.
to Sunday. So there'll be activities from Goethe to Ole Sereni to Kenya National Theatre and also Brighburn School.
Yes.
And for us, for the conversation around food is politics, we will be today at Goethe from 10 to 12 a.m.
Yes.
And we'll be discussing around the food systems governance challenges and with the topic on livestock vaccination. So everyone is invited to join.
Entry
also,
is free.
It is free.
Goethe Institute, guys.
Also, you can follow online and participate virtually. And
where? On what platform?
On the social media platforms.
Which ones?
Growth for Change.
Growth for Change
Platform. Also the Poetry Slam Kenya. We will be having conversations there.
Gotcha.
And also we will share the live stream link where people can follow.
Right.
Apart from that, the Food is Politics campaign, it is organic. So we are inviting activists, we are inviting social media. Content creators,
yes,
groups
who are
in communities. Power Radio, of course, they have already taken lead by showing by example.
Yes.
So I think that is what we want to happen. and we are not controlling the conversation. I think we want to encourage organic. No one is right or wrong. We just want to have a safe space for everyone to communicate, and then we see how that can inspire or can bring solutions to the complex challenge we are talking about.
Right.
So we will be back.
Yes.
And we have a lot of communities who are doing amazing work in Korogocho, from Comp Green, in Dandora. We have Ndoto Zetu, Chami Organics. We have in Madare Vision Bearers, and Easy Urban in Babadogo, and Zero Feminist in Mwiki, who are already setting up innovative models for young people to replicate. And we hope people are welcome to visit these sites and take these conversations to our communities.
Right.
And thank you
Yeah.
very much for the opportunity.
Sure. Thank you
And
for
we
coming.
will be back.
Yes, and thank you for the amazing work you're doing. Your parting shot. What do you want the food for thought? Pun intended.
Yes, the food for thought
Yes.
is important, because we also need to have a thought for food.
Yeah, we also
That's
have that.
a thought
I
for
love
food.
that.
And in the morning, I was thinking, we keep saying,
Yeah.
they say you can't eat your cake and have it. But some people sometimes say you can't have your cake and eat it. You
Yes.
can always have your cake and eat it.
Yes.
But it's the other way around that doesn't. So for me, I think it is important that we continue to raise the profile of food discussions.
Yeah.
Food issues are inherently political, and the reason why they are political is because they touch on our survival. Without food, people are not able to live. We are not able to achieve even health. We are not able to achieve anything in terms of livelihoods and economic contributions. So I think it is also the responsibility of us as Kenyans to take the step. The platforms that, for example, Charles has mentioned, take your step as a Kenyan to participate in these conversations. We keep saying, we are the most democratic country in Africa. We are better than some countries. I don't want to mention them because I know sometimes they also kidnap us from this country. So I don't want to mention the countries, but they can kidnap me and take me to the military court.
Abductions, have you been seeing?
But I think as Kenyans, we need to take this democracy debate a notch higher. Democracy does not end on election day. Election is done by majority. The majority wins. It doesn't mean that even if you didn't vote for that party, you go back and sit. It is our responsibility to keep government in check.
Right.
It is our responsibility to make sure that we participate in a meaningful way in discussions about our food. I also think it is important to start to call out bad practices, because when you talk about spaces for people to discuss about their food, one of the things that is really shrinking that spaces is something called misinformation.
Yes.
There is a lot of misinformation that is done either to gain political mileage, when people start saying things that don't make sense and they don't add up, but basically to just play to the gallery and I think this is unfortunate because we need to have meaningful conversations, and by the time you give us misinformation, by the time we get to the conversation, we are late to have that conversation. So it is important. I want to just urge all the listeners, I want to urge all the the voters and everyone and to basically take seriously the responsibility to participate in conversations about the food that you eat.
Wow.
It might be about potatoes in Nyandaru and you watch it in the news and you think it doesn't matter, but little do you know, I mean, sometimes the potatoes that you are eating are just coming from that place that have a big policy problem.
Yes.
So let us be, as Kenyans, be serious about these conversations about food.
Right.
Let us not leave it to politicians.
Yes.
Everyone has a voice. We all are able to say what we want to grow and what we want to eat. And of course, as a farmer, I also just want to appreciate our farmers out there, and they're doing a good job. So anytime also as a consumer, even if you're not engaged as an agriculture expert, as a farmer, anytime as a consumer you hear that there's a challenge with farmers, please put that tweet out.
Right.
Make that comment and say, let this be sorted, so that we don't have a society where the people who eat the food do not care about the people who grew the food. That is the highest level of inequality and irresponsibility that we can ever have. And our country is really moving to that direction where, okay, as long as I bought the tomato, I don't care about the tomato farm. Please care about the farmer that grows your food.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Mr. Atamba, Mr. Charles Lukania, thank you so much for the privilege of your time. Najua mambo ni various. You guys have to head out. But as you've said, we shall continue having this discussion. We are going to be in touch. And yes, you've heard it here first. They will be back as we continue to just understand and as they help us understand what, the intricacies and the complex issues that surround food and everything in between. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you guys are doing. As you've heard, Leo, Gote Institute from 10 a.m. all the way till noon. They shall be holding a conversation around the livestock vaccination. Then when is Kenya National Theatre and when is the Braeburn? When? How? What time?
I think they can follow Kenya Poetry Slam.
Okay.
And they will be able to know the activities. There are other activities today at Goethe as well.
Okay.
Where we will have a masterclass on Sound Lab by Lil Scrappy. So there are many activities.
Okay.
I think guys can follow the social media
Awesome.
handles.
Right. So follow them on Instagram, Growth for Change, to get yourself looped into all the activities concerning food, is politics, and so much more. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we get into the day's local and international news roundup. A lot has been happening in this country. A lot has been happening, and we shall get into that conversation. Keep it right here on Power Radio. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Usiku wa joto, usiku wa manane, usiku usioishia, katikati ya Julai, tulikuwa na furaha, hatuku stress na uhai, tulijua tu city lights ya Nairobi, they shine so bright. Remember dancing in the moonlight up until the sunrise, strobe lights glaring oh so bright, katikati ya July, ya July, ya July, ya July. Skin to skin, follow the beat the whole night. Oh, we'd be disco queens, but that was way before our time. Our life is there, so we take it. So let's run naked, paint the city pink. We deserve to take it. Let's get our lick back, fight the system, we can break it. Chase our dreams until we make it. Dancing in the moonlight up until the sunrise, strobe lights glaring oh so bright, katikati ya July, ya July, ya July, ya July.
I make mountains out of molehills and It can be quite the scene. Think about how far I've come and my life looking greater than it's ever been. If I could eat my pie in the sky, it would be just my thing. Sipping on my champagne and my life looking greater than it's ever been. My life looking greater than it's ever been. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? You must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. You must be an African. I don't know about my haters, but they should know about me. Keep me humble, oh God. My life looking greater than it's ever been. I overflow flavor. My pockets are full of greed. Even on my worst day, my life looking greater than it's ever been. Woo! My life looking greater than it's ever been. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? You must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. You must be an African. You jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you jealous, don't hold me back. Jealous, don't hold me, no, no, no. If you jealous, don't hold me back. I'm saying, please don't jealous me. Please don't jealous me. I'm singing, please don't jealous me. Please don't jealous me. I'm singing, please don't jealous me. If you jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? For me? Bringing the one dindi, to your beat. Maisukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Maisukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Bringing the one din din and the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti. Then it's me and you. Maisukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. Maisukuti love. Is it good for me? Maisukuti If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. Maisukuti love. Give it to me too much, too much.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
They call me Chris to the cantata. That's why they call me. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. That's why they call me. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. Yo, they say it's hard to compose a rhyme. I say you out of your mind or you full of lies. Then again, you could be the slow kind. I don't see how lyrics don't hypnotize. Why lie? The season has transformed. You got reason to be bored, so now you want more? I'ma serve you flavor that you can't afford. The bill about to get placed on your tempo. So don't even try to resist. Look at yourself bumping to the beat. Get up and get down with a G twist. Forget the hater, cause the fool's not on the list. Dig this, we came and we took over. Got the keys to the ride and we're not sober. We made an oath that we ain't gonna ride for you. So now it's hip hop, ride us to the border. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. That's why they call me. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. They're taking over my head, dog, they on a hustle. I'm taking over their bread, dog, I'm on a muscle. Try to be cool, but I gotta mumble. Better yet, after that, there's a big tussle. Quit them tears, boy. Dry your eyes, see the G going cheers, boy. Don't be mad, cause I say that you weird, boy. You kinda scared, so I see that fear, boy. Meditating on a cute shorty. Lean body, mean thighs like the chick bought it. I said real tight like they all assorted. If she arrested my ass, then she got a warrant. I'm a legend in the living, and that's that. I grab objects of vices you can't touch. Read all comprehension is too much. I know where's these words that bring the rap. Let's go. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. Yo, huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. Glad that you stopped by. Who are you? What's your business? Bye bye. I hate people that think that I'm on the rise. Yet and still I'm the steel that will not fly. Ask why? I got this even better. On this planet I teach you before the chatter. What I compose gets better by the day's weather. That's why they call me Chris to the cantata. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. Huni nani ji, huni kantai hajali ji, huni mtu mkali ji, tuliza moto kufani ji. That's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
GL. Nani cheesy kama yeah. I've been faded, I've been naked, in different places, many faces, X-rated. Yeah. I've been patient, I've been waiting. No other one that's come around can do the things you do. Who keep come around, we smoke a lot. Canadian pot, G's and bomb. Catch a wine, dance along, bounce along, baby, bounce along. Wine and dine, made your mind. It's a clear sign that no other one that's come around can do the things you do. Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come yeah. Cheesy come yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come yeah. Cheesy come yeah. Oh yeah. Cheesy come yeah.
I've been faded, serenaded, celebrated. Ooh, very patient. See, I'm not so complicated. Ooh, kakwama on my mind. Your toes are juicy, align. Moyo kapiga sign, kisha underline. Only free because you let me be. That's the love I want for me. Long time was so baridi. Can't deny the chemistry. Ukakwama on my mind. Tuka alive. Tuka bigger sign.
Nobody else can match my energy. Cheesy come yeah. Cheesy come yeah. We up all night and still we tryna be busy on the AM. Cheesy come yeah. Cheesy come yeah. Oh yeah. Cheesy come yeah. Cheesy come Cheesy come
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Tumekuja kupati DJ hebu weka traki tukule happy halafu tufungue sakafu sababu inabamba inashika wingu la tisa inatufikisha ukiachilia mahewa manze DJ unatubeba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba boom ba boom ba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba boom ba boom ba karibia kubamba vipi dada shake your nanda inakutouch touch si relax kwenye dance floor show us what unanoki hauchoki kwenye dance floor hautoki unahisi hii muziki unahisi nameless na mimi
It's nameless Elisa in conjunction with Ogopa tumekuja kuhakikisha kwamba speaker zinasikika. Hey yo mister, are you a member? Hey yo sister, wacha kulenga. Can't you see that I'm talking to you? Sasa weka mikono juu.
boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
Hello name the super fresh lakini twende wewe yeye wewe vice versa vile wataka
Mr. Brother, wacha kuzuba. Ukisleki hautapata.
fungua macho floni yako cheza wimbo kama ni wako cheza wimbo kama ni wako sababu huu wimbo ni wako
Isa hatucheki na watu.
nameless hatucheki na watu
Ma MC hatucheki na watu.
ogopa hatucheki na watu unahisi hizi flow za Afrika unahisi kama una katika can you feel this front till the rear can you feel this up in here boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
na tumekuja kupati ambia wenzetu samahani hawako nasi na tuko nao basi wametupa mao sababu inabamba inashika wingu la tisa inatufikisha ukiachilia mahewa manze DJ unatubeba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba boom ba boom ba boom boom ba boom 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 ba boom boom ba
Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber. Ukikatika na hii ngoma, just be cool as a cucumber.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is Issa with Boomba Train, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and thank you so much for sticking around with us. We just concluded a conversation with the team from Growth for Change. We were talking about food systems, so if you missed that conversation, kindly head out to our YouTube channel. You can also find it on our X, as well as you can also find it on our Facebook page at Power Radio to catch up with all that we were able to talk about. Again, they are having a conversation today at the Gote Institute in Nairobi from 10 a.m. To 12 noon. If you have time and you can be able to make it there, go and listen in. They will be talking about livestock vaccination, the jab, and also some issues surrounding food justice and food governance, and talking about transformation of food systems and creating sustainable food systems in Kenya. Right now, let's get into what has been making headlines. And the big story for today, I can see the cover page of the Standard and also the news, the Daily Nation, is Chief Justice kicks up storm over security, that his security details have been withdrawn. Chief Justice Martha Koome is up in arms over what she calls executive interference after her security and officers in the Judicial Police Unit were withdrawn, calling for respect of constitutional offices. Intriguingly, the National Police Service says judges' security is intact and those who were recalled for training have been replaced. It's a story that continues on page 9 of the Standard newspaper. Now, let me just read a couple of things that have been said here. Now, the Interior Ministry has withdrawn Martha Kome's security and scaled down the number of police officers manning courts in the country, in what now opens a battleground between the judiciary and the executive. It has emerged that officers who were protecting Justice Kome were in the newly created Judiciary Protection Unit reduced. The withdrawal of the CJ's security and the reduction has prompted the head of the judiciary to write to Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen and the Inspector General IG of Police Douglas Kanja, citing the move as an intimidation tactic. Kome's letter came hours after High Court stuck to its guns that the IG and the Director of Criminal Investigations, Mohammed Amin, must appear in person to explain where Justice Mutumwa, Martin Mwao, and Karani Mwema are. The three were abducted at Mulolongo. So, of course, that is a story that was able to be flagged on, and a lot of I would say, what's the word? The intimidation that they're talking about is because of these questions that came from the CJ's office, right? It's important. It's her role for her to be able to understand exactly what is going on in terms of security, and so withdrawing her security details are not. It's sort of inconsequential, really, if you ask me. Now, I wouldn't know. Of course, high-profile people. It always seems as if everybody is out to get you in one way or the other. So it might seem like it's an inconsequential thing, but I also know, like, on the grand scale of things, it's inconsequential because this is just one person, and you cannot. It's that thing of, you know, fear and intimidation are tactics that have been used over and time again, and they have proven to be not the most sustainable ways. So if you really want to deal with an issue, you better just deal with it head on without going and cutting through corners and oscillating around the same issues, you know. If you are a government that is instigating injustices to people, and then when somebody comes and asks the right questions and demand for accountability, and that criticism you can't handle, then it shows that there's a bigger and a deeper problem here more than we know, and or we know and we just we need to figure out a way to be able to be more accountable and hold our systems accountable for the things that they put us through. Right. So that's a story. Grab your copy of the Standard newspaper to get the whole lowdown as well. Now, there's also a story here about, remember, there was a story about the murder of Cohen. This was in 2019. There was a Dutch tycoon called Tob Cohen that was murdered. And so the story goes that Sarah Wairimu was yesterday arrested and is set to face murder charge at Kibera Law Court this morning. Police sources say Wairimu, who was being held at Kilimani Police Station, was arrested after the DPP reviewed the case file and concluded that there was sufficient evidence to charge her. Further, police sources say yesterday told the Standard that there was new evidence. Now, and I quote, the suspect was arrested by Directorate of Criminal Investigations, detectives from the headquarters, but she is in our custody. You remember that he went missing in July of 2019, only for his body to be found later decomposed in a septic tank at their Nairobi home. And this is a story that was flagged from 2019. Then we had the Wairimu's arrest in 2022, but now it's official that she's set to be arrested and face murder charges. Of course, the cause of the death of Mr. Tob Cohen is still not ascertained. We don't know for sure what exactly happened there. Some speculations were that they had some domestic wrangles, and also others were speculating. It's alleged. It's not given. It's not factual. Allegedly, that there was some business-related wrangles because there was an arrest alongside businessman Peter Karanja as well in this case. So it would be interesting to see and uncover what exactly happened along the along the lines of what exactly happened to Mr. Tob Cohen. But it's something else that we just need to, I mean, the level of social killings and just suicide and homicide and if we talk about femicide in this country, it's quite disconcerting because it seems as if this is the new reality that we have to just always walk around feeling like we have to cater for it or create a space for it, and I know for sure that this is going to spark a national debate about how do we relate with people, how do we relate with each other, how come killing and murdering is like at the top of our heads, how come we do not know better ways of dealing with our conflict. We need to figure out a way and ways really to combat some of these issues that we have to deal with, because people will always be in conflict with one another, but that doesn't mean that we should run towards killing immediately. First of all, it's wrong, just morally wrong, it's unconstitutional, it's not like it should not even be an option. It should not be an option. And so it's quite heavy to live in a society where we don't even have the social regard for the sacred, the sanctity of life in that way. And that's why we have cases of femicide. We just saw the demand is the murder of 3 women just this week. In this country, 13-year-olds and also a 40-something-year-old woman. So really, we need to start having conversations really, and just it's a crisis. To be honest, it's a national pandemic. This one, that we need to desensitize people, because by the time somebody is desensitized anyway, it means that there is something that is missing, right? And so. Yeah, that's what's happening. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we continue to talk about some of the things that are happening within the education sector. We have some strikes in university looming, and also we head out to Nakuru. Some students also were caught up in running battles between police and protesters. So let's come back and we get to understand what exactly was going on there in this particular story. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia. Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia. Saizi jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia, ni sawa. Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka, uko sure ni sawa. Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest, uko sure, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ni sawa. Ni sawa. Nomba on your wedding day, stima zipote, upate fat fingers, ringi sitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaye kadogi ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona, unadhani yeni catch kumbe yeni spam donor. Yoni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy wena wependa kenye unapenda, imeenda, ni sawa. Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka, uko sure ni sawa. Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest, uko sure, but for you, is that who you have picked over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
If I had your number, I'd be forever texting you. Even cucumber would be the language that we use. There'd be no other, no, no, no. Come on now, MCO, I hope you understand. You're the best that I have. If I had your number, I'd be forever calling you. I hope you answer, girl. We speak the Luo when we through. Nyakoti better than delay. I told it better than delay. And if love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. I hate each other. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I got your number from your friend Washera, akanipa mawaidha, eti unapenda maua, eti nipige pamba na marashi ya kishua, kisha tuende dina, nikupigie kagita. And if love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. If love had a face, it would be yours. I hate each other. I hate it, I hate each other. I hate it, I hate each other. I hate it, I hate each other. I hate
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I need you every time I see you. Every time I see naomba nafasi mimi nicheze nawe, njoo karibu usinicheki toka mbali. Hatujuani but tonight you could be my babe. Songa nami hivyo nimekubali. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, tutacheza hata kama tuna pesa. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, hatujui kama tutaonana tena. Napenda unavyong'aa kama taa hapa when you're star. You've got me feeling things that I can't explain. Vitu, mavitu, I think I'm falling for you just a little. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Hata kama ni mara ya kwanza sisi kuonana, usiogope nipe macho yako ana kwa ana. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, tutacheza hata kama tuna pesa. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, hatujui kama tutaonana tena. Kunja mifupa, kaza mshipi na tuzipande, tukizunguka kaende kaende, teremuka, kata kiuno, jioneshe, inuka, inuka. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, tutacheza hata kama tuna pesa. Ngoma zalia nami nataka kucheza, kucha kuchwa nishazoea kesha. Sakata rumba, achilia presha, hatujui kama tutaonana tena.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
This proves to be such a beautiful night, so I wanna stay out with you till the morning comes along. No, Suluri and Ginyadi, Yopolo, hallelujah. Give me the word and a bit of me, Mutumandi Wanyalo Yoro. And now we made it to the mountain tops. Let me take your hands, baby, lead your way. And now we're cruising to the promised land. Mind alone, better not mind alone. And now we made it to the mountain tops. Let me take your hands, baby, lead your way. And now we're cruising to the promised land. Mind alone, better not mind alone. Kai go dire atia, kai go dire. Ya kumbanya de daga ka oda siri. Kai go dire atia, kai go dire. Ya kumbanya de daga ke modo siri. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora.
Nama, chukagera rosine ke besilia, my dear. Nama. Chukagera rosine ke besilia, my dear. Nah, dear busy. On a me hang on near no digger. We had I and near no chuka. Ogorama one year go ahead. On a dear way, can I wake a dog a summer? The hotel and the wakinya chuka go ahead. How get in it? Don't get me watch.
Komanya de daga ka oda siri.
Don't get me nisa.
Komanya de daga ke modo siri. Aye, 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 milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora. Milima na mabonde, ore wa yora yora.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Welcome back. That is Costa Ojuang alongside Irosh with Hi. And it's playing right here on Power Radio. Right. Now, our story here. Lecturers and staff at the Technical University of Kenya began a strike on Thursday over delayed payment of December salaries. The University and Academic Staff Union, UWASU, said the decision followed the lapse of a notice issued on January 16th. Fred Sawenja, the chapter secretary, explained that other issues contributing to the strike include the non-remittance of statutory and third-party deductions, as well as the institution's failure to replace a pension scheme 6 months after it was wound up. Wow. Okay. Yet again, another day in Kenya. Strikes left, right, and center. When, by the way, just so you know, we have a funding deficit of 2.8 billion Kenya shillings, the amount that is yet to be disbursed into the capitation of the public universities. And wow, it's difficult to always have to deal with problems. So yeah, you could grab your copy of the Standard newspaper and get that story on page 2 to find out also what the Education Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Julius Ogamba, had to say about that issue during the unveiling of the new council members of Moi University on Wednesday, which also had its own fair share of drama from last year. Then on page 3 of the Standard newspaper, still within the education sector, a tense moment engulfed Kimathi Secondary School in Lakeview Estate in Nakuru East after police lobbed tear gas at learners while attempting to disperse protesters demonstrating against the disappearance of a man. At least 20 students were affected by the smoke and had to be rushed to Langalanga Sub-County Hospital with breathing difficulties. The students were taking their afternoon lessons when police officers who were engaging the protesters lobbed tear gas in an attempt to disperse them. Elijah Maina, who was among those who rushed the students to the hospital, had his car's rear mirrors smashed by the protesters. Also, a story you can get on the page 3 of the Standard newspaper to find out what exactly is happening on that. Then we also have a story here about Wetangula cited for being Ruto's youth winger. Now, the National Assembly Speaker, Moses Wetangula, is on the spot for allegedly engaging in political activities, which observers interpret as a breach of the principles of impartiality and independence expected to an arbiter occupying his office. The Speaker is on crosshairs of his critics who are accusing him for compromising the independence of Parliament by behaving as an appendage of the executive under President William Ruto. The Speaker, who is accompanying the President in his Western region political tour, made some controversial statements and even assured Ruto that the region is fully behind his administration. He reiterated that the region is Dr. Ruto's last line of defense and the frontier of defense against political acrimony from his rivals. Projecting himself as Ruto's point man in the region, Wetangula on Wednesday said he is the patron of Western Region MPs Caucus, saying they are all behind Ruto's administration and that they always vote alongside one pattern in Parliament. A story that is well explained on page 5 of the Standard newspaper. Right, now there is also a story on page 6 of the Standard newspaper here that the High Court rejects Gachagwa's plea to freeze 10 cases challenging ouster. Now, the High Court yesterday declined former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's request to freeze 10 cases challenging his impeachment. The High Court judges Eric Ogola, Anthony Mrima, and Freda Mugambi ruled that the applications made yesterday were an attempt to overturn their earlier decision, which had declined to halt the cases. However, the court allowed Gema Wadho, lawyers lobby group, to amend their court papers. The judges stated that they would only halt proceedings if they were served with orders requiring them to do so. So this is a story you can grab yourself on page 6 of the Standard newspaper to find out what exactly is going on there. Right. We also have a story here about the bittersweet reaction of Ruto's bonuses for sugarcane farmers. 150 million shillings is the total amount paid to farmers supplying sugarcane to Mumia's sugar factory. The highest earner of the bonuses was paid 342,000 Kenya shillings. Now, there is hope and concern surrounding the decision by the government to award 150 million bonus to farmers supplying raw materials to Mumia's sugar factory. While President William Ruto's administration is optimistic that this move will open a new path for the struggling industry, some farmers claim the process is shrouded in mystery. Several farmers told the Standard that the formula used to calculate their bonuses was unclear, while others claim the amounts they received was less than what they had expected. Grab your copy of the Standard newspaper to find out exactly what is happening on that end. We head out to some international news now. We go to Kinshasa, Congo, where advancing M23 fighters in DRC Congo are getting Rwanda support. The M23 armed group has seized further territory in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo and on Thursday was continuing to tighten its grip on provincial capital Goma, which is almost surrounded by fighting. Weakness, says, within the Congolese army, as well as backing from Rwanda, are aiding the fighters of the M23, according to experts who have not ruled out an offensive on Goma, at the heart of the mineral-rich region torn apart by the 30-year conflict. For several weeks, clashes between the M23 and Congolese armed forces have intensified. Hospitals have been in an influx of patients, and since the beginning of January, more than 230,000 people have fled the violence, the United Nations said. It's a story that is on the page 23 of the Standard newspaper. Right, I can see that our time is far gone. Thank you so much to everybody who was able to tune in. That story leads us to the end of our show today. We do this again on Monday, and on Monday we shall be discussing all things economic transformation for the youth of this country, and so we are pretty stoked for that conversation. So I will leave you in the very safe and able hands of Caroline Murote. She comes in at 11 a.m. with Shiva Sessions. Then later on, our reggae nerd is back like she never left. Yes, we need to play that for her. So you do want to join Miss Flozz Munyiri from 4 p.m. all the way till 6 p.m. on Ital Groove. She shall be hosting one, let me check his name real quick, Loyal Flames from Jamaica, and they will be having a tete-a-tete about what is happening on that front, as well as just having a great conversation and great reggae vibes. So you do want to stick around for that. It's the first of its kind this year. Yes, Ital Groove's first ever show of this year will be happening tonight, 4 to 6 p.m. East African time. So definitely plug into that. And again, a reminder, that African Twist is also showing tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Alliance Francaise. So if you're looking for a plot, go right there, and we'll also be there if you want to come and say hello. Yes, come and let's watch and support this team of the incredible work that they have been doing. All right, have yourself a fantastic weekend, and I am see you on Monday, same time, same place. God bless. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
On a baby. Pata baby, it's pata baby. I didn't say I could tell that you've had enough. It's written in your eyes. Madola mbili ya mabwera with empty promises. They just lie and go. I can see you've had enough. Give your heart to me. Give your heart to me. I'll never make you cry. Dry your eyes, mama. Tandipa seko tumtaji. Sindisa kutakata. Dry your eyes, mama. Sindisa kuswela mtima. Sindisa kuswela mtima. Sindisa kuswela mtima. Sindisa kuswela mtima. Wako. Give me a chance to go chenge it. Give me your love, go chenge it. Open your heart, you will allow it. Open your heart, you will allow it. Give me a chance to go chenge it. Give me your love, go chenge it. Open your heart, you will allow it. Open your heart, you will allow it. Baby, sina doba. Muntima mako ningofuna kona. Sindi banga njomba inenga jikabadinyo. Believe in me, I've got plans for you and me. Simpata sindi kutoresa choka. Dibweleza mwaindi kuchotea matoka. Our love chizakala sweeter, chizakala better. Ini my heart iwe uzakala. Give your heart to me, give your heart to me. I'll never make you cry. Dry your eyes, mama.
wako tumtaji, sindisa kutakata. Try your eyes, mama. Try your eyes. Sindisa kuswela mtima, darling. Sindisa kuswela mtima, baby. Sindisa kuswela mtima, darling. Sindisa kuswela mtima, wako. Give me a chance, nigga, chenge that. Give me your love, nigga, chenge that. Open your heart, nigga, love it. Open your heart, nigga, love it. Give me a chance, nigga, chenge that. Give me your love, nigga, chenge that. Open your heart, nigga, love it. Open your heart, nigga, love it. Sindisa kuswela mtima, sindisa kuswela mtima, sindisa kuswela mtima, sindisa kuswela mtima, darling.